Inspired performance. Infiniti of Ardmore, Infiniti of Westchester. Test drive the Infiniti of your dreams and enjoy the best selection, best service, and best savings, plus the area's largest selection of pre-owned Infinitis. Infiniti of Ardmore, Infiniti of Westchester. 866-96-INFINITI.
Hi, I'm John DeBella, and this is your Classic Rock Update, brought to you by Infiniti of Ardmore and Infiniti of Westchester. Well, Christmas is on the way, and of course you want all the latest technology, and the Rolling Stones have come through for you. 2 box sets of vinyl. The Rolling Stones 1964 to 1969 and the Rolling Stones 1971 to 2005. The collections, which featured the band's entire studio record output from their earliest days through the present, includes the early mono edition of their early EPs and the first 3 albums. The collection also includes their 2 legendary big hits compilations, along with the 1975 Metamorphosis album, which featured rarities and unreleased 60s tracks, and the 2010 remastered and expanded version of Exile on Main Street. As for the price, 64 to 71 box set sells for $390, 71 to 2005 is selling for $420. And you thought it was hard getting a mortgage for a house. Phil Collins recently said that he would have quit Genesis in a heartbeat in order to join The Who right after Keith Moon died. He actually went up to Pete Townsend and explained it to him. He says, look, if you ever need a drummer, I'm your guy. I will leave Genesis at a moment's notice. This, of course, is making Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford feel real comfortable today. Now, this is what The Who looked like just before Keith Moon died. And this is what The Who would have looked like if Phil Collins got his wish. Speaking of The Who, in a question and answer session on The Who's website, Roger Daltrey said that they're probably going out on the road next year. He says he would like to see the band do a different show every night. You know, one night do a best of compilation, the next night do Tommy, the next night do Quadrophenia. He says that's if he could still sing all of that stuff. So it would be on the audience to, well, roll the dice on what the performance would be like. As far as Pete is concerned, he's up there in the studio writing and putting together a new album, but Roger's not sure when that will turn up. Apparently, Joe Perry is the only member of Aerosmith who really isn't thrilled with Steven Tyler becoming part of American Idol. The other 3 members of the band think it'll actually help them get an album done. According to Brad Whitford, he recently said in the Boston Globe that, well, with him only working 2 days a week on American Idol, that gives him the other days a week to schedule in recording sessions. And the thing that they've been really bad at is scheduling in recording sessions. So this could actually help them. Now, speaking of Brad Whitford, he's back on board with the Hendrix Experience Tour. Among the other heavyweights playing homage to Hendrix on this 20-date trek are Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Robert Randolph, Johnny Lang, Steve Vai, Eric Johnson, David Hidalgo, and Cesar Rojas from Los Lobos, just to name a few. Also, Hendrix Band of Gypsies bandmate Billy Cox will be on bass. Now, if you are a Hendrix fan, oh my God, are you in for a treat come November 16th. The new multimedia set, West Coast Seattle Boy, the Jimi Hendrix Anthology, features over 4 hours of rare and previously unreleased Jimi Hendrix tracks spread across 4 CDs and 1 newly produced documentary. The set features extensive outtakes and alternate versions of songs like Are You Experienced, Axis, Bold as Love, and Electric Ladyland. West Coast Seattle Boy includes Hendrix's never-before-heard version of Bob Dylan's basement tape classic, Tears of Rage. Also, solo acoustic recordings from Electric Ladyland, plus never-before-heard live performances from the legendary Band of Gypsies Fillmore East concert in New York City on New Year's Eve 1969. By the way, that's me applauding on that record. Ozzy Osbourne's wife, Sharon Osbourne, has slammed Vince Neil of Motley Crue over comments he made in his new book, Tattoos and Tequila. Well, it seems that back in 1984, when the Crue was out on the road with Ozzy, she didn't really treat them the way he felt that they should be treated. To quote him exactly, "It just really sickens me to watch everybody everywhere fawning over Sharon Osbourne. She's a talent judge on TV and has her own show and this and that. This is the most evil woman I have ever met in my life. She would effing have you killed if it was to her advantage." Now, in a statement to Perez Hilton, Sharon fired back, "I was saddened to hear about the quote from Vince Neil's forthcoming book. Vince, of course, I tried to keep my husband away from you at all costs because I truly felt that you were a danger to Ozzy, yourself, and everyone around you. I didn't want him to end up like Razzle from Hanoi Rocks, who died in a car accident because you were driving drunk, or like the two innocent people who ended up with severe brain damage, and those lives were ruined as a result of your actions. Today I see you as a pathetic 50-year-old party boy who continues to put innocent people's lives at risk by getting behind the wheel of your car and driving drunk and being arrested for assaulting women. Enough said! I'm sorry. That does it for this week's Classic Rock Update, brought to you by Infinity of Ardmore and Infinity of Westchester. We'll see you again next week, and I'll see you on the radio. Classic Rock 102.9 MGK. It just came out.